here's the first reason. I like APA because it gives me something that I'm familiar with. So when I open a paper from you and it looks like this, I'm in my comfortable space. Like, oh yes, this looks like a paper. So pretty much most, if not all of the papers that I wrote in graduate studies was in APA, so I'm really familiar with this. And so that's kind of what I like to see. And it gives us a common framework to use to organize our thoughts and talk about things related to whatever goes in a marketing plan. So yeah, this template gives us let me scroll to the top. It gives us a cover page, right? It gives us a title, a place to put your name, and so on. And then it gives us a common way to format our headings, common margins, and everything. So if everything is consistent throughout your paper because you're following APA guidelines, then as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, yeah, I'm in my comfortable space and it looks professional. Now, think about the opposite of that. If you give me a paper that's all over the place when it comes to the way text is formatted, maybe the font that you're using is not right, or you're not consistent with your use of headings as far as how big they are and even the fonts that you use, your paper just comes across as unprofessional, and it might give me uncomfortable thoughts, right? So that's one of the reasons, so we can all have a common thing that we can agree that yes, let's format it this way. Now the second one is, and this one I should clarify that even as I recommend APA because it gives me something consistent that we can work with, I please do not, like, if you have other classes and you're using APA, well, there might be some things that I let you do that I'm not going to correct because I'm not interested in grading you on how well you follow APA. So yeah, even if you're off a little bit on how you use headings or formatting, like, that's secondary to my concerns. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't, like, if I don't say anything about how you formatted your references page, for example, well, that would be why, because I'm not really interested. So as much as I would like a common, for you to do this right, it's not my main concern. Really, so here's the second reason. I just want you to be able to give credit where credit is due. So if you used ideas from other people, I want you to be able to use some kind of framework for giving credit to somebody else's ideas. So that would be through the in-text citations. So let me see if I could find some examples in this paper. So like, here's an idea here, or an in-text citation, Ford Motor Company Fund. So then I can go to the references page and look for Ford Motor Company Fund. Okay, it's going to take me a while. This paper is 30 pages long. Okay, there we go. So Ford Motor Company Fund, and then it gives me the title of the work and then where I can find that. So that's really the main thing that I'm interested in, is that I am able to find your references. That's really the point of in-text citations and references. And not so much did you have the right, at least from my perspective, when it comes to your paper this semester, it's not so much did you italicize this, did you put a period here, and so on. So of course it's important to have standards and to be consistent, but I guess in the end what I'm looking for is an APA like paper where you're consistent with how you formatted your paper, and then that you provided in-text citations and references to where I know, oh, this idea came from this author, and I can find this author's work here. So those are the main things there. Now, that's all I have to say about the APA part. So let me go back to the idea of formatting. So in the various parts of your paper, I ask you many questions about the different parts. And one of the ways that, and I have put this in some of your, for some of you, I put this feedback that I would like for you to organize your thoughts using headings. And I have two reasons for that. Number one, it's just good writing practice that when you have a long piece of writing, that you organize your thoughts that way. And number two, so that way you know you're hitting all the points, right? And then the second part to that is it helps your readers know what the next section is about. So like this example paper here, I know that when I get to this section here, marketing objectives, then I can expect, oh, the author will be talking about marketing objectives. So it gives me a way to know, to anticipate what's going to be or what I'm going to read about. And it could also give me a way, so as the person who will be, the word is escaping me right now, evaluating. Yeah, since I will be the one reading and evaluating your work, these headings also help me quickly see what you've written. So, and that's another tip for you right there, right? If you're writing papers, and for example, if you recall one of my assignments, assignment 5, it was about giving me at least 3 marketing objectives. So, in using headings, it would be really good to say marketing objective 1, number 2, number 3. Or here's another example actually that I prepared, or that I prepared for this video. But of course, I've scrolled away from that. Okay, assignment 7. Assignment 7, product strategies and pricing strategies. So I have you answer many questions about product strategies and then pricing strategies. So I ask, what is the core product, actual product, augmented product? So related to what I said about if somebody's evaluating your work, make it easy for them to see, make it easy for me in this case, to see that you have addressed those different things. Sorry about that, my email's blowing up. Um, to address the different things that I've asked you, like don't make me have to guess. So, and I'll get to that in a minute, what I mean by like I have to guess sometimes. So let me find the product strategies section for this paper. Target market. So if you look at this, there's a heading right there, right? Being organized. And then core product. Well, that's one of the things that I asked for. Like, oh, okay, so far so good. This student is doing well. And then actual product. Well, what do you think the next heading is going to be? Actual product. So that kind of stuff makes it easier for you to know that you're hitting all the points, but then it also makes it easy for me to assign all the points because, like, yeah, you addressed everything. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so one more idea I want to share with you is, so this paper is organized using headings. So I'm happy, everybody's happy, right? We're getting all the points. I'm seeing something that makes me feel good, like, oh yeah, APA all the way. So here's another version of this paper without headings. So yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay. So say it was time for me to look at product strategies. I'm like, well, I think they talked about product strategies, but I'm not sure. And so yeah, it's just really hard for me to find information on here quickly. And for other readers, they're also going to be like, well, okay, where's the part about target markets? Where's the part about distribution strategies? So it's just the cognitive load on the person reading the paper. It might overwhelm people and just think, well, what's going on here? So make it easier for yourself, make it easier for your reader, and please use headings. And so those were the things I wanted to talk about APA. So number one, I like it. So to recap, APA is to give us something common to work with to create a beautiful paper that's easy on the eyes and easy for readers and evaluators to see. And then it also gives us a framework for using in-text citations and references. And there was somewhere in there in all that talking that I was just saying I wanted an APA like paper, but please um, understand that I'm not, or just keep in mind, not understand, keep in mind that I'm not grading you strictly on how well you followed APA, the APA manual. So it's not necessarily transferable to your other classes, right? If you're writing papers. Whew. Okay, all right. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video.